What is up, guys? Welcome to RollPlay R&D week number 2 of our Pendragon campaign. I'm JP McDaniel, joined by the rest of the cast. We've got our DM, Steven, and our 3 other players, Maggie, Marcus, and Neal. Steven, what have you been up to?
Oh, man. Today I learned to like blue cheese.
Yeah?
I've
You didn't like it before?
I've never
What?
liked blue cheese. I've actually always hated it. And today I was like, you know what? I should learn how to like it. So I went and I got some. I looked up like a couple ways to serve blue cheese, with apples or on bread with butter, apparently. So I tried it, I didn't like it. And then I ate it again, and I ate like another piece, and then I started actually liking it. So I feel really proud of myself, overcoming my shortcomings.
Wait, so you just kept eating more of it and then you liked it?
Well, like I paired it with a little bit of apple. I put it on some bread with some butter. I had a couple grapes.
You just eat it on a chip, man. Just get a sturdy chip. That's all you need.
Totally. So anyway, I feel good about that. Other than that, I've been brewing a stout, which is really flat, and that's disappointing. But hopefully, we talked to our local brewsmith, and he was like, "Yeah, just let it rest in the bottles for a couple more weeks, and it should perk back up."
Interesting.
And that's what I've been up to.
I think only a place like Montreal can have a brewsmith.
Oh, not true.
Actually,
where the fuck am I going to find a brewsmith?
I imagine he goes to the brewsmith and he's like, "Why, hello, Steven. How's your brewing going?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's actually like this moderately scary tattooed French-Canadian guy named Stefan. He owns a place called La Chapa Baraque. And we're always like, hey, we thought we were going to try this recipe. We need like, 4 kilos of pale grains and, 500 kilos or 500 grams of crystal grain. And he's like, no. No, do you want me to tell you what you should do? And we're like, yes, sir. And then he like puts together a recipe for us. It's a lot of fun. It's really
interesting. Cool. You'll have to, we need to make you can't carry alcohol over the border. So I don't know how you're going to get it to us. I guess you could just make it in the U.S.
You're allowed to carry a little bit.
You can't, but I'm talking like 3 or 4 kegs that you bring to a role play
that would be harder.
Yeah, you couldn't just roll.
JP's thinking of his party that we're gonna have this year.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking
massive,
of. Yeah,
massive roleplay R&D party.
And we'll have
party in general.
Just put it in a van, an unmarked box. Be like, oh yeah, that's just nothing.
No, man, you put it in the tires. That's what they do down here in
Mexico.
Mexico. There you go. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to smuggle it across the border. Let's not talk about this anymore in the public, Steven. We'll just do it.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll make this happen.
Let's move on. Wheat, what are you up to?
Well, yes, I'm home. I was in San Francisco for GDC. GDC, man. I don't know.
Have you recovered yet?
On a scale of like 1 to 10 in terms of excitement, like GDC is like a C. It's trying to figure out how to even get on the number scale. It's like kind of boring. But I saw like maybe 1 or 2 cool things that we'll get to talk about on 8-Bits next week because embargoes will be lifted and stuff. But aside from that, it was like kind of boring. Kind of boring. Although, just one thing.
Yeah.
Because everyone's always like, well, what's we do at Twitch anyway? And I wear a lot of hats, but one of the things I work on is like with the SDK team and for integrations on the mobile. And we did launch our first, Twitch integration into a mobile game, which was Asphalt 8 last week, which was pretty damn cool because we got to like show it off during the show and stuff. And it was pretty badass. So one small step for mobile streamers. One small step for mobile
streamers, because we.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I've been up to.
Glad to be grounded.
Oh, and our HGL match was today. We faced IBM, and we did lose 3-2. But I mean, I had to check. I dug a hole in my backyard all the way to hell. It's still hell. It's not frozen over, but I did beat a Protoss. It did happen. A Masters Protoss went down to little old djWHEAT.
Did you 6 pull him?
It was awesome. Nope, it was a straight up game. I just executed and played well. Boom.
Well done.
That's all I got.
Well done. Good job. Maggie, what's going on with you?
Oh, madness. Work. craziness, all that. I'm also doing some iterations on my stream box, so I haven't been streaming on my own personal channel. Been doing a lot of work streaming, but yeah, doing water cooling for the first time. It's exciting.
Now, are you going with like a stock, like something that's already closed when you buy it, or are you actually like running all the
No,
tubes yourself?
running all the tubes ourselves. So
Okay.
Wow.
yeah.
Did you get that electrostatic free water, or whatever that shit is? Do they even make
No.
that still?
I just put water.
You just put real water in it?
Electrostatic free water. Is that like gold cables?
What the fuck, Maggie? I don't think that's what you're supposed to do.
No, just messing with you. You're just so funny. But yeah, it's working so far. We're just messing with OC temps at the moment, trying to figure out what we're going to be doing with that. But hoping 5 gigahertz at the end. That's the end goal, but it's
What are you?
it's slowly
What
getting there.
chip are you OCing?
Well, I'd have to like bust out all my stuff. I don't want to do that right now. But hopefully everything's good. We did the leak test the other day, and now we're just doing testing today, but we haven't fully gotten to it. So
Cool.
I've been sleeping and stuff, being lazy,
Yeah.
like a lazy butt head.
Being lazy is awesome. I can't wait to be lazy
Well,
tomorrow.
because last week I like stayed up way too long for everything. Like I've just been I've been having like really bad insomnia, so I've been getting like 2 hours of sleep. And this weekend I was like, let's just sleep the whole weekend, like a bear. I just hibernated. After killing the man-eating bear, I had to like sleep like a bear. I don't know.
Something like that.
See, I'm not even
like
making
that.
sense anymore. This is what's wrong with me. I need to sleep.
There you
Problems.
go. We'll let you
But-
rest for about 10 more minutes because we're going to
Yeah.
catch up with
But I'm
Neal.
ready. I'm ready to play R&D. I'm pretty pumped about this. I want to see what happens with Ronald and the lovely rumors that are going on with him and his father being a heretic.
I
It's gonna
forgot
be a
what
cool session.
I forgot what the
Happy.
rumors were for my character. I guess we'll find out in a bit. Last but not least, our guest for season 3 of R&D, Neal. I know you were just playing Diablo 3. Did you get any legendaries today?
Yes, I got a key. I mean, I only played for like 20 minutes, but
You got a key. What does that mean?
fuck if I know.
It's
You
You don't know what the key does either?
Something else.
Man.
I don't know. I'm almost done with D3. I just started playing this week.
Oh.
For the first time ever. So this is my first playthrough, and
Oh, you're still having fun then.
yeah, still having fun. I'm almost at the end. Everyone keeps saying the end is 20 minutes away, but they've been saying that for the last hour of play, so we'll see. And I recently bumped up the difficulty to, what do you call it? Nightmare or whatever the
Expert? Torment?
Torment 1,
Yeah.
lowest level of Torment.
Are you playing a wizard?
I am playing a wizard.
See, that's the
Of
only.
course.
I knew that exact reason why you bumped it up is because you are playing a wizard. I
Yep.
just hadn't. I knew.
Wizard's fucking OP as shit.
They're
Yep.
pretty good.
Yeah, but Torment's really hard. I got like a yellow, a whole set of blues, and a purple at the same time, and I'm just like, I can't kill this. I can't do this.
Yeah, it gets kind of lame when you get some of the weird combinations of all the abilities, like Jailer, Mortar,
Oh,
Frozen Orb, Waller is like, well, I'm just gonna leave. Like, I'm not gonna mess around with it. So
Walk away.
you gonna be playing ROS this week, Reaper Souls?
Probably. We'll see how the rest of the Diablo goes on Monday, and if I like it enough, I'll grab ROS and just do ROS all day Tuesday.
Cool. I know Ryan's gonna be playing, so you should play with him some.
Yeah, I usually like to like run through the single player campaign once by myself without other people before I try anything. I really like the single player experience.
Ryan's pretty big on, or was. I think he hit like 200 or something of Paragon. So
Wow.
yeah, he's pretty up there. He's pretty into it.
Cool.
I know that he knows a lot about the game, so that's why I was saying check it out with him. But regardless, yeah, let's play some R&D, some Pendragon, I guess is what we should be playing, Steven.
all right. So the year is 491. It's a year later. Well, it's really only like a couple months later, 3 or 4 months later. The gossip around the castle is the camera zooms in on 2 women who are milking cows in the early dawn. One of them turns to the other. She says, "That Duke, he deserves only the worst." The young one turns to the older one and says, "Can you believe the arrogance of Cornwall? How dare he insult our good and victorious king?" The older one turns to the younger one and replies, "Don't you think this is just more bad news, though? The king, fighting the dukes? Who will be next? Lindsay? Yes, news has spread throughout the realm, and each of you has received a missive from Earl Roderick. King Uther Pendragon has declared war on the Duke of Cornwall, Duke Gorlois. Gorlois owns 2 castles out in the Duchy of Cornwall, one called Tintagel and one called Terrabil. And King Uther is sending 3/4 of his force to lay siege to Terrabil, while the other 1/4 goes to Tintagel, which is just on the coast. So you've all been summoned by Earl Roderick to Salisbury Castle, which is also known as Sarum. It's the city around the castle. And Earl Roderick greets you, and he says, yes, King Uther has summoned every available lord to muster at Castle Terrabil in Tintagel to wage war against the Duke of Cornwall. Some inexplicable slight or other. The Duke eschewed the king's hospitality, and such is enough to justify the march of war, it seems. It's our duty to attend. The damned Saxons are raiding in the south again. I'm leaving all my foot soldiers home to garrison my castle. I will comply with the muster with only my knights. So all 4 of you are here at Salisbury Castle. And there's a night of feasting where Earl Roderick has laid out a table spread filled with all sorts of food, nut-encrusted trouts and boars with big juicy apples in their mouths, and endless flagons of mead and ale, and it's a roaring good time. There's really like probably 200 knights in attendance all told. And later in the evening, as the party is sort of really starting to roar, he gets up and makes a stirring speech about defending King Uther Pendragon and defending the realm. And then in the same breath, he decrees that the newly knighted will form an advanced scouting party to ensure quick travel to Castle Terrabil for the body of knights that Roderick will be leading. And he singles out you 4 as the 4 who will be leading the van across the landscape. Now, do any of you want to do anything specific at this party? There are a number of knights feasting, a number of lesser lords, a couple of eligible ladies who are making the rounds throughout the tables and speaking demurely with a number of suitors who seem suitably interested in them.
I don't think I want to do anything.
Does anybody have intrigue?
Oh shit, where's my character
Yes,
sheet?
I do.
I knew one person took that. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Sir Ronald, do you want to try and find out a little more information about this war?
Sure.
Would you give me an intrigue roll, please? And that's just you're trying to roll less than or equal to your intrigue.
This roll is 6, and my intrigue is 10.
Not bad at all. Yeah, let's see. You managed to corner one of the pages as he's pouring you another pint of ale, and you ask, what's up, and he says, "Oh, the Duke and his wife fled from Uther's court because the king made unwholesome advances upon Lady Igraine. The king is half mad for the Duke's wife. This isn't rebellion at all. It's just lust. The king is following his lance wherever it leads."
Does
A little bit.
Do we
a
all
little
hear
bit
that, or
later.
is it only Maggie?
It's only Sir Ronald at this point.
Okay.
A little bit later, you ask one of the lesser ladies of the court as you're speaking with her, and she lets you know that apparently even the young Prince Madoc has argued with his father about priorities and proprieties. Sounds like not everybody is entirely enthusiastic, but of course, when the king asks, the realm obeys.
Steven, can I use awareness or recognize to see if I see any other knights that are from Berwick St. James?
Well, Berwick St. James is your manor. So, I guess there are a couple of local family or local lesser knights, maybe bachelor knights who are sort of tied to the grounds at Berwick St. James, but you are the knight of Berwick Manor or Berwick St. James.
So I wouldn't have to do like I'd like to see if there's one that I would recognize from when the attacks happened.
Who was helping you defend? Something like that?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a recognize roll?
Okay.
Plus 10. What's your recognize right now?
It's already 10, I believe.
Okay, so plus 10 gives you a 20.
Yeah.
Huh, nice. Yeah, absolutely. You see a young man by the name of Morgiston drinking off in the corner in a crowd of bachelor knights. He seems to be having a good time by himself. Do you want to go and greet him?
Yes, I do. Morganston, it's good to see you.
He raises a glass in your direction and says, Sir Quinn, hail, well met. How goeth?
It goes well. I see that it can say the same for you. I just wanted to talk to someone from Berwick St. James and see how you are and maybe inquire about my dear sister. I still have not seen her since the attacks.
Sort of a dark look comes over his face. He says, yes, it was a great blow to our family to suffer the loss of your sister as well as the rest of your family. Though I have heard that it's possible she escaped the worst predations of the invaders.
I would love to hear any stories you might have heard.
He sort of looks around for a minute and he says thoughtfully, well, I haven't heard much. Some of the folk from the grounds, they tell of fairy stories of fairies who occasionally provide refuge for noble women in time of need. And some of them believe that they have heard your sister singing on the moors.
I'd like to buy Morgiston a pint of ale.
Well, it's the Lord's house. You don't need to buy. You can simply flag over a page and have him refill his cup.
Refill my good man Morganson's cup. Morganson, thank you, and may luck and God be with you as we engage in what could be more battles. I appreciate your information.
Yeah, Morganston, he looks at you with a great, sort of, like he's admiring you. Like he sort of very clearly looks up to you from what you can see. Let me see here. I was going to see if you wanted to like roll on generous or anything like that, but I don't think you need to. Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you roll against your courtesy? And we'll see if you're able to like really make an awesome impression on him.
Where is that?
It's a skill.
Oh, it's a skill?
Yeah, courtesy is a skill.
Oh.
I think you have a 3.
Yeah, unless you marked it, you have a 3.
Yeah, now, yeah. 13.
All right, well, you sort of slap him on the back and he sort of spits out a spurt of ale onto the table and, onto a knight across from him, and you quickly take your leave. But he clearly seemed to enjoy speaking with you. Now, as the room sort of revolves and, lords and ladies make their acquaintances, you notice you notice 4 young women who stand out exceptionally. One of whom is Earl Roderick's wife, who is young and beautiful. She's the daughter of the Count of Silchester. Her name is Countess Ellen. And you've known of her for some time. He and she have been married for some years, and they have a daughter together who you also see. Her name is Lady Jenna, and she's now in her early teenage years. And she is spending the evening sort of alternately giggling with her friends who are like attending ladies of approximately her same age, between like 9 and 16 or so. And she alternates between that and then flirting shyly with some of the more beautiful and well-positioned squires around the room. But everyone here is sort of well aware that she's not yet of marriageable age, but that she very soon will be. And people are starting to pay her incredibly gentlemanly shows of notice, not even affection yet, just to like get in Earl Roderick's mind. At the same time, there are two other women who catch all of your eyes. One of whom is tall and slight with long raven hair, who's wearing a beautiful blue gown and a gold necklace. And the other is of medium height with bright green eyes and a winning smile with perfect teeth. She's wearing an attractively cut, rich pink gown, and she commonly hides her laughter behind a white handkerchief. Do any of you want to try and approach either of these women?
Absolutely.
I like those
All
perfect
right.
teeth, yo.
Hey, I caught dibs.
Dibs on the perfect teeth?
I
Yes.
spoke up
Well,
on which, but
England, it's rare.
I think
So,
me and Koibu are going after the same woman is what's happening
Awesome.
here, Steve.
So, Sir Emrys
Are,
and
are any
Sir
of them
William.
redheads? Because you didn't mention their hair color.
You know what? Neither of them are red.
I think black and what,
All right.
the first one was raven, so I assume black. What was the second one?
The second one, you can't
heard
quite
green
pitch
eyes.
she has green eyes,
And
but
perfect teeth.
you can't see what her hair color is because she's wearing a very fashionable hat.
Perfect.
So, do the both of you approach at the same time?
We probably like exchange a glance.
We look at
Like, you know,
look at each
clicking
other
faces
across
to
the
see who's
room,
there first.
and we
Yeah.
slowly start walking towards her at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, do either of you have recognize? Do you want to make an attempt to see if you recognize who this woman is?
I got a 3 in recognize.
I'll roll for it. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, man.
You want to roll at the same time, Koibu?
Let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. You win.
Ooh.
No, I miss. I only have a 3.
I have a
right.
3 too, but you rolled better. That's what I was saying.
Unfortunately, neither of you know who this woman is. Yeah, the both of you approach her, and she turns and flashes the both of you a winning smile, and she says, "Well, my, our newest knights, who I hear will be leading the charge across the fields over to Terabel. Tell me, what are your names, Sir Knights?"
I am Sir William Onahan Gallery III.
William Onahan Gallery the Third.
Joining the charge.
Wonderful. I've heard of the tales of your father's exploits, Sir William Onahan Gallery the Second. How is Dinton these days, Sir William?
Dinton is Dinton. It stays the same much throughout the ages.
And how is your son? She says, flashing you another winning smile.
Well, son, children are children, and I would not necessarily call him a son of mine.
But he is
yes,
yours, correct?
Indeed.
I speak up.
What is it you ended up calling him?
Ryan.
Very well. And she turns to the other gentleman who comes to approach her, and she says, "And you? May
Steve-
I ask your name, good knight?"
APP is like my charisma, right?
Yeah, it's how pretty you are, basically.
So if I try to smile and answer back with a 7 charisma, like how is this gonna go?
If you want to like try and really impress her, you could like use flirting or use courtesy or something like that. But your appearance is just kind of, it's just the way you are. You don't test against it for anything.
Oh,
specific.
okay.
I got a
Yeah.
15 in courtesy and flirting. Give it up, JP.
I'll definitely roll for it. I
Okay.
introduce myself, bow, and say I am simply Emrys, and much like what is your name, Sir William Onahan Gallery III. Here, I will also be leading the scouting party for the army in the coming days.
Yes, Sir Emrys, I have heard of your piety. A religious man, yes?
I kind of look up to the sky and scratch my chin and don't say anything. And say, yes, I am. Very, very much so indeed. And I turn to... now tell me, is gaming seen as a nightly thing, or is that not seen as a nightly thing?
It's not non-knightly, but it's not a knightly skill, specifically.
Okay. I turn to William Onahan Gallery III and say, William... Should we perhaps what is the current, like, what is gaming? Is it just rolling die? Is that a
Yeah.
form? Would you perhaps care to play a game of die?
I believe you mean dice. Die is singular.
I roll one die because that's all I roll. That's all I need.
Ah, I see. Well, you go ahead. Came here to speak with the lady. If you would like to go off and play dice, that's quite fine.
You know what? A young man who's sitting next to this lady sort of leaps up, and he says, "Ah, you play dice? Ah, Sir Emrys, I also enjoy a game of dice now and then. Would you care to throw?"
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He like bangs the table and like bangs a cup on the table and invites you to sit down across from him.
Okay.
At this point, I would like to continue talking to the lady, figure out her name, where she's from, and I got courtesy and flirting if you want me to use those.
Which would you like to try?
We're gonna start with the courtesy. We'll move into flirting a little bit later.
Yeah.
Can't
Give us a courtesy roll.
1.
Nice.
Oh man, very nice. What is your courtesy? Oh, you've got a courtesy of 15 anyway.
That's up.
No, that's awesome. You give her a stately, courtly greeting, and pull out a chair for her and take a casual seat across from her and begin regaling her with tales of Dinton. And she seems very engaged and very impressed. She seems quite pleased with your display of courtly gentlemanliness. You find out that her name is Lady Adwin, and that she's the beautiful young daughter to Sir Blaise, who was killed in battle against the Saxons last year. From speaking with her, it becomes apparent that she has inherited very well, and she would make any husband quite wealthy.
Would you say that she has like 1,000 glory?
From your awareness of her, I wouldn't quite say that she's broken the 1,000 threshold.
But near there? Halfway there? I mean, ballpark it for me.
Any NPC ladies are going to have, a significant amount of glory, but she's not at the big 1K yet.
But she has holdings.
She has a number of holdings.
All right. I got my plans. I know what I'm doing.
She looks about 17 years old, incidentally. As you sit, the game next to you heats up quite rowdily.
Wait, how does it heat up quite rowdily? What am I like punching him in the face, or like what are we talking here?
Well, you're like rolling dice, and there's a crowd of young men who've gathered around you and are cheering or moaning as the game, sways from one way to the other. Would you roll your gaming?
Yeah. Fuck. I think it's a 10. It is a 10, and I rolled an 11.
Oh, not bad. Okay, so he has a gaming skill of 7, and he rolled a 17. So the both of you, neither of you is winning clearly at this point in time. You find out that his name is Ectine. Now, do you want to try and find out like a little more information about this lady Adwin?
Is she watching the game, or is she more attuned to what William Onahan Gallery the Third is saying?
Sir Emrys, I am sorry to say she seems very engaged in what Sir William is saying.
Does William have his back to me?
Yes.
I kind of like tug on him, and I'm like, William, please play. Your son Ryan needs to eat. Come play.
Oh, nonsense. Ronald? No, not Ronald. Who are you?
Emrys.
Nonsense.
Emrys.
Nonsense. I'm far off. I do not need to waste time gambling.
But what will little Ryan eat? You must take care of your kin.
I absolutely will, and I shall use my landings and holdings to do so. I needn't rely on the dice. And I get quite... And I kind of like turn away from the lady, but say it just loudly enough that she might be able to hear. Have things gotten so bad that you need to resort to dice games to feed yourself, sir? If so, I would be happy to give you enough food to supply yourself for the year.
Does she hear
Lady
this?
Adwin says, "Oh, Sir William, such nobility and generosity."
I merely
impressed.
speak up and say, perhaps you should give it to Ryan's mother, and then I roll my die.
I shall absolutely be taking care of the offspring.
JP, go ahead and roll your dicing again.
All right, 3.
Oh man,
Oh,
no!
what the fuck?
But higher is better, and therefore you have won. So over the course of the evening, you actually end up pulling. Let me see here. Actually, look on the handouts or look on your journal. There should be a Pendragon rules summary. I'm popping that up for everybody now. I've actually got there. Third down on the left-hand side, money is in libra, shillings, and denarii or pence.
Yep.
So you end up making roll 1d12 for me, JP.
Okay, let me get out of this journal real quick. 10.
Oh, nice. You scrape 10 denarii or 10 shillings rather off of this guy.
Okay. After I win, I stand up next to Sir William and say, "This is for you, William. I believe Ryan will need it."
Do you give all of it to Sir William?
I give it all to him, yes.
I stand up and I say, Sir Emery's, you insult me by implying I cannot feed myself.
You
or my
insulted
family.
me by not playing a simple game of dice.
I came here to speak to the lady. If your honor is slighted so easily, perhaps you should look to your vows to
This is
see
so
where you should
awesome.
put priorities.
Okay, so hang on. Let's see here. William, would you roll against your modest, which is a 13?
Right. I don't mind not being modest. 13.
Oh, Crimson.
Oh, damn.
Neal's with the roll today.
All right, William, like his face grows red, and he looks like he's about to just like sock you, and then he sort of like he clutches his hands to his breast and he swallows his pride, and he holds out his hand and accepts the 10 denarii, and he says, "Thank you, good sir. I am humbled to be given this gift." And so, Sir William, would you check generous or not generous? Would you check modest? And Sir Ronald, would you check? Not Sir Ronald, Sir Emrys, would you check generous?
Okay.
Excellent. So now that you're standing up, Sir William, you actually see someone over in the corner kind of giving you the stink eye.
Emrys or William?
It's like this 21-year-old knight from, and actually, give me a recognized roll, Sir William.
I'm not a people person. Or I'm not a faces person. This is no good. No, fail.
That's pretty close though, right?
You have a 3,
it's a
right?
3.
You know, I think that you recognize him as being from like one of the manors just down the river from you. And it looks like he's a little overdrunk, and he's shouting pretty loudly, not like at you, but in general. And he's shouting, "I see not why that aged squire, Sir William, should be at the fore. I'll know he fights most brutishly with an axe, rather than with the knight's true weapon, the sword. Why, I heard it said just recently that he is descended of Saxon stock, whence he derives his preference in weaponry." And like there's a crowd of young men around him who all like go, "Oh," and like bang on the table.
Wait, do only Neal hears this, or do I hear this
No,
as well?
it's just loud enough that anybody.
I immediately run over there and interrupt them and say, "Sir, do not insult a friend, yet even a knight, so loudly and in such a boisterous room."
Oh man, sir, this knight looks at you and he says, "And who are you? I know not who you are. Some friend of Sir William's, I suppose."
I want to excuse myself from Lady Adwin with I'm sorry, something very polite, and imply that I will be coming back and walk over to back
like
up
taps
JP.
you on the shoulder as you're leaving, and she says, "You're not just going to let him say that about you, are you?"
Why do you think I'm walking over there? I
And
shall
she sort of
dispatch
claps.
this young lad easily.
She claps and jumps up and down and like goes and runs over to the woman in the blue gown and begins like pointing in your direction as you approach. So at the same time, Emrys, he says, "Have you not heard about Sir William? He has a bastard son off some commoner wench, likely some Saxon whore captured in battle recently, I'll wager. Yes, Sir William is not a man to be trusted. You would do well."
I just interrupt him and say, "You watch your tongue."
He says, "My tongue is carefully guarded, my friend. Take care you do not wish to see
Undoubtedly
it."
behind those misshapen teeth of yours.
And like the
Young
entire
lad?
room goes.
If you do not shut your mouth, I will challenge you to a duel. And I take off a glove.
Oh, nice. Okay. This young man stands up and he says, "Fa," An old man like yourself,
Stop.
I accept. Like everybody around, like immediately goes quiet and begins following the two of you out into the courtyard of Castle Sarum. Sir Elad, who's the Castellum, he grabs you on the shoulder, Sir William, and he says, Sir William, take care. We're not here to fight to the death, but I agree this man has insulted your honor most grievously. It would do you well to right this wrong.
I won't kill the lad. Just scare him a little. Knock him down a few times, make him learn his place.
Very well, very well. I look forward to it. To the
Listen,
courtyard! And yeah, a whole crowd of knights and ladies follows you. Lady Adwin is at the edge of the crowd, sort of like gossiping with her friend in blue. So the both of you end up fully suited in your armor. This young knight, who you hear through interaction with the crowd and the murmurings from around the onlookers, you hear his name is Palor.
Palor.
Yes, and he dons his armor and a shield and a silvery polished looking longsword.
Neal, before you get started too much with the fight, I want to go stand next to Lady Adwin and put in a good word for William Monahan Gallery III.
Oh, very nice.
You're a good bro. Where were you 4 years ago?
Yeah, she looks at you, Emrys, and she says, yes, you think him a passing good knight?
I say I've trained with this man and know him quite well. He is one of the best I've ever seen.
Hast thou seen his character sheet, perhaps?
Perhaps.
She smiles and turns her attention to the encounter. Now, if you open the Pendragon rule summary I put in the handouts, you can see the melee round procedure, combat modifiers, special melee tactics, optional tactics, and wounds, all on the right-hand side. Just quick summaries of everything in case you're curious as we go. So anyway, the both of you start engaged, basically. Are you fighting with your battle axe, Sir William?
Let's see what weapon has the best stats. Let's see. Sword and battle axe are the same. Battle axe does more damage. Going with the battle axe.
Battle axe won't let you use your shield.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Sounds fine. Okay, so we're in the determination phase. What are you doing this round?
This round, how do you deal with non-lethal damage?
So under special melee tactics, non-lethal combat, blunted weapons and withheld blows each reduce the damage received by half. So you can just say I'm withholding my blows and dealing half damage.
So how is there any way to determine how wounded somebody is? Like, I don't want to accidentally kill the kid, but I want to.
You can look at him and be like, yeah, he's bleeding heavily, or he's gotten pretty serious. Do you guys want to agree to fight to like first blood?
Sure. I mean, no. Fight till someone surrenders.
Okay, fight to the surrender. Sounds fine.
Fight to the surrender.
Sure. So, what are you gonna do? You're gonna attack?
I'm just gonna make a normal axe attack.
Okay, you're not withholding.
Oh God, no! Not this first round. Maybe once he's fucked up.
All right, sounds good. So, would you roll 1d20 against your axe skill?
Come on, 15. Come on, 15.
Oh man.
Oh.
Oh, Sir William, do you know what just happened?
Did he just critical me?
No, he very nearly did. So hang on.
Oh God.
Doesn't Neal have like some bonus to single combat or something like that too?
Oh, I do get a plus. I have a directed trait, love solo combat. I don't know. I don't think that affects battle,
so that affects your valorous in solo combat. So anytime you're fighting in solo combat, you get a +3 to test against your valorous. So this young knight, Palor, he swings his sword with ferocity, blocking your blows with his shield, raining down blows against your armor. And he also isn't holding back in this first round of combat. This is a success for him because it's not a tie. If it were a tie, he would have broken your axe, but it's not a tie.
Holy shit.
So let's
That's
see.
a success for him though, and
Yes.
almost a crit. So that means his crit is he's got like a 19 or 20 in that skill.
Pretty much.
Little bitch.
So he deals you 14 damage.
Holy shit.
So that is higher than your dexterity of 10. So you have to roll against your dexterity to see if you're knocked down.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Damn, dude.
All right, 10 or lower, please.
Oh!
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So he lays into you with his sword and he knocks you flat on your back. Let's see. You end up taking, if I'm not mistaken, you take 4 damage total through your armor as some of his blows cut through weaker parts of your chainmail.
Yeah.
So it's the next round. What are you going to do? Are you going to try to stand up? Are you going to try to fight on your back?
If I stand, I cannot attack. Correct.
Correct. I would let you fight defensively while you stand if you'd like. And that would give you a +10 to your weapon skill, but you would deal no damage on a success.
Little
Sounds
sibling position.
All right.
It's like kick your feet.
Go ahead and roll versus your weapon skill +10.
So that means my weapon skill becomes 25. So I roll d20 plus 5, right?
Correct.
12.
All right. So you succeed, and he gets an 8. So you have the success. You manage to fend off his blows and pull yourself back to your feet. Next
Good
round,
job, little pup. You are stronger than you look.
he
So that
says,
might
"You
just
fight
be your-
well, but this day will be mine."
It's probably just alcohol being your bravado. All right, same axe attack. No, I guess not defensively, but I want to crush him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. 7, a great success. As he rains blows down on you and fends off your axe, he shouts a cry, and he shouts, "Earl Roderick, I will purge your knighthood of this Saxon blood." And you can see that he's invoking his passion for his lord, and you see this like reverence come over his face, and he just becomes a whirling dervish of blows, hammering against the steel of your chainmail.
But I
So
rolled higher
let's
than he
see.
does.
Let
No?
me think. Oh my God. So what does that mean? Wait, so it means he crit. Cool.
Just getting destroyed.
So, Sir William,
I think I'm dead.
how many hit points do you
No.
have?
My max HP is 26. I'm down by 4. I think I'm dead.
Wow.
No.
Oh,
So-
Shiza! You have to play your son?
My son is like 6 months old.
At the last moment,
This becomes solemn all over again.
you end up having to ferry a baby through the forest for some number of sessions. No, at the last moment he pulls his blow, and he strikes you in the knee, and it bites straight through your chainmail, and it cuts deep into your leg. The total amount of damage you receive is 17, so you take 7 wounds. Roll to see if you are knocked down.
Let me mark my wounds on my sheet. All right. 15 is above my dexterity.
You are knocked immediately to your knees, and a bright spray of blood comes out all over his sword. And he stands there, his chest heaving, and he says, "Do you yield?" You've taken
To
7
scum
damage.
and liars like you, I do not.
Oh, man.
Never.
Okay. Would you give yourself a check to reckless?
I think that's
Okay.
a subjective statement, but I totally agree with you.
He just lays into you again, and he says, "Yield, yield," as he like hammers down on you over and over and over again. Let me double check how long he gains the bonus for being inspired by his passion. I think it might only be 1 because it was just a normal success. Passions.
If only you would have played that game of die. Just a single die. That's all it needed to be rolled.
Success. He is inspired, which means he gets a +10 modifier. Huh. It lasts for the length of the task at hand, but never for more than one full day. He is totally good to go. Do you want to call on
to fight? Oh my god, this is OP.
do you want to call on your loyalty to your lord? Or, loyalty to your family, perhaps? He is, after all, insulting your bloodline.
Yeah. Yeah. So how does that work?
So you roll against your passion. On a success, you get +10 to your skill. On a critical success, you get +20 to your skill.
Jesus.
On a failure, bad things happen. But I think you've got a 15 for loyalty to family, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Oh God.
But I guess I still have to fight defensively to get up. But can I roll against my passion while doing such thing?
Absolutely.
9.
Yeah, absolutely. So you feel like, a love for your family lineage suffuse your soul, and you gain a +10 to any relevant skill you desire for the duration of the encounter. I would recommend your axe skill, personally.
You know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to take axe.
All right.
So
that makes your effective axe skill 25.
25. But then fighting defensively is another 10 on top of that, so 35.
35, yep.
So 20 plus 15 to defensive fighting.
Yep.
All right.
So go ahead and do that.
I think I win.
Did you get that 34? Is that what that is? Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you crit. So you managed to stave off his blows entirely and stand back up to your feet. Lady Adwin from the corner of the crowd, she shouts, "Sir William, take care of thyself." Is it time for another round?
I'll deal with her later. Yes.
Go ahead and roll it up.
D20 plus 5, I guess.
Yes.
It's D20 plus 9. Okay. This is winnable. This is winnable. This is not winnable. This is not.
Oh, man.
Oh,
So he crits.
Oh my God.
dude, you're gonna destroy.
These rolls. These rolls.
Oh.
He does not hold back.
Oh my God.
And he kicks you, and you get knocked directly to the ground on your back, and he takes his sword and he shoves it through your chest, and he says, "Die, Saxon cur," as your life's blood flows forth out of your body over this sword. And Lady Adwin shrieks and faints dead away. Emrys, are you trying to catch Lady Adwin?
Yes, but only in a don't hurt yourself, not a wooing.
Yes.
type
No,
of
of course.
situation.
No one would take advantage of this incredible tragedy in order to further their own interests.
Not yet, at least.
William would have.
All right. So on the eve of battle, of leaving for war, Sir William is slain in a duel against some nameless knight from the court of Earl Roderick. The Earl steps forwards and he raises Sir Palor, and he says to him, "Young man, it would be wise if you could learn to curb your tongue, but I do agree that you had a right to defend yourself against this call-out. Go take your place at my table and rest yourself. We will attend to the body." And, why don't we take a break for 3 minutes or so?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, Neal. What the heck?
Oh man, sometimes you just gotta roll a single die instead of getting 10d6 rolled at you, Neal. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
Hey, it's.
No,
I was playing my own game of dice, man.
I got you, man.
Mark down that you have earned 100 glory, Neal. And that will transfer to your son when it comes time for him to take up the mantle of adventuring.
There you go. All right, cool. Let's take a quick break. We're going to be playing for 3 hours, so we'll just figure out how that works into the breaks after this. But We'll be right back with more Roleplay R&D season number 3, and we'll figure out what our guest is going to be doing. So we'll see you then.